friends. How are you guys? Let us jump into it. See how you guys are doing. And what's coming up for you on this like insanely moody. It's a moody Wednesday. It's a very moody Wednesday. So, okay, we have some energy here. Wallflower is up. Oh, no strings attached. There we go. Third eye blind. Forever young. Butterfly effect. Face the music. All right. Let me just clarify from here. Oh, that came fast. Synchronicity and truth reversed. So we have a situation where some of you watching this are feeling a little bit hurt by someone. There's something that's seeing you, I would say, feel totally like cut off, like you have just been sidestepped. There's this energy around feeling called to look at what the truth of the matter is and like what's really going on in the situation, but you can't help that you feel like you were rejected through this. And this feeling, just the scissors in this with the strings, it feels like you were strung along and then just cut off. So someone cut you out of a situation and kept you feeling like you can't actually, maybe they didn't speak their truth initially, or you're not able to speak your truth. It also feels like this is prompting your growth. The timing's off in your situation. You don't want to face the music. It's really hard for you right now. It's prompting your growth. The bigger lesson here is your growth. I think you've outgrown this situation, this relationship, and I think you're facing that music right now, in that truth. Something bigger is you can handle something bigger. But there's this like desire to kind of put yourself in a box and be enough for this situation. You're like questioning that. You're like, what if I could have been more? You already are enough. I think, in fact, more than enough. I think this situation is showing you that sometimes what catches our eye is not always worthy of our attention and our commitments. So there's like some pain here. I think you're moving through. Like Easy Does It is at the bottom of the deck. So there's a prompt to kind of pace yourself through this and trust what's coming through your body. Maybe there's even like a physical rejection or sentiment through this. But this person, this situation has caused you pain and you're wishing that things looked different. There's definitely a wish for that there. Let's grab some tarot and see what we're dealing with between you and this situation, between you and this person. What is going on? Maybe it's you and these people too. So there's a lack of control. The Lovers are here upright. So disappointment. Someone's holding on. The Eight of Pentacles. The cards are just, they're so powerful here. Okay, the Knight of Wands is here as well. So you have been chasing something and it has kind of showed you the door in the situation. And you're feeling like, you're definitely feeling burned because you're like, what was I working for in this situation if this is the reality? The Wheel is here. The Wheel is here. There we go. I think you feel sort of cheated out of the situation. The work that you put into something and the strength that you gave to something, the commitment, the perseverance that you gave to something, when someone has sort of like released you from it, is a really uncomfortable situation for you. You're feeling like you kind of thought that this was going to lead to something more substantial. There's not a lot of emotion here. It's more of a sentiment of like practicality. There's this feeling of like what I was toiling for just didn't kind of, that shift just didn't come through. The change that came out of like was really sudden. It came out of nowhere. And that swift shift of behavior, where you maybe wanted to see an action offered to you and you didn't receive it and you didn't see it coming, you didn't see it. It hasn't been here, has put you in a situation where you're just frustrated. There's a lot of frustration, and it's really my actions versus what I'm seeing as a reward are kind of at a crossroads. They're not matching up. The Seven of Swords here, that's like someone lied to you or someone told you something that you didn't see coming. You didn't see it coming. I think with the Tower card here too, there's this feeling of like what I thought I was working for, but the Eight of Wands is reversed. So there's this like, it's not that you were in denial, but you were definitely almost lonely in the journey of working towards this. And I think the other person, while they saw you maybe working towards the relationship and the success of this dynamic, they've pulled back. And as a result of pulling back, you're kind of just left being like, I'm not satisfied right now. Yeah, the control in the situation, the Emperor is here and the Two of Swords are here. There's a lot of fear of not being enough right now for this dynamic, for this relationship, for this thing. It does feel like it's a relational thing, but there's not a lot of emotions that are being held up front through the dynamic. So I would say too, with the Lovers card here, it's either a business partnership, it's someone at work, or it's someone that, it could be someone that you were in a friendship with, in a business partnership that was maybe growing into a friendship, sorry, that was growing into a business partnership. But there's just been this sudden turn of events, which has really thrown you off, and it's seeing you question yourself more than you should be. Definitely questioning yourself more than you should be. That being said, you're not blind to the fact that you weren't the chosen one right now, that you're not being chosen right now. It feels like you're just dealing with the burn of being left out of the equation, essentially. I think you still have the stamina to kind of pick up from the situation, and you will, you're going to look for other opportunities. You're not going to sit in this situation and just kind of let it take you over. You're moving forward through this. That being said, in the present moment, there's a lot of like, not overthinking, but you're feeling it in your body. You're feeling it in your bones. Like, what was I committing myself to, or why did I show up with so much action and direction and perseverance towards a thing that actually had these intentions? It feels like they had these intentions the entire time. So, I mean, the Chariot is coming up again, reversed. The Sun is reversed. So your joy has been zapped from you through this situation. And that's fair. I mean, that's very, very fair right now. We have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is tricky for sure. The sentiment of like, I need to move on, but I can only focus on the spilled milk in front of me. The Knight of Swords, this is, for me, ties back to the Seven of Swords in the other split. So it just feels like someone said something and it was fast and it was quick-witted and it was sharp-tongued, and you know, it gave you this sense of like not belonging, this sense of rejection. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed here. So it's very clear that you have been outcast from the situation. The Lovers are coming up reversed. Hierophant is reversed. There was another person, another relationship. It could even be a relationship with a work thing. I'm getting chills that came up and were chosen over you and over your connection and your desire in this equation. The Six of Wands is here reversed as well. And as a result of that, there's a lack of collaboration between you and this person right now, between you and this dynamic. So you're feeling really stuck right now, and you're feeling mostly frustrated. There's not a lot of sadness here. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of just like, how did that happen? That really caught me off guard. And yeah, the Nine of Swords is here, and you're feeling like you got kind of removed of your principal place in this dynamic. Someone left you, gave you this sense of like having, you know, head seat at the table with them, and turn them back on you. I have to go pick up my kids from school, but I will continue on this and see later what their next actions are going to be on this. Actually, maybe more so what your next actions are going to be on this, based on this track record that we've sort of been thrown this like curveball right now, haven't we? So I'm sending you peace, and I'm sending you clarity through this, because this isn't easy. This is a very confusing time. You feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's a moment of inaction. This isn't a moment of action. It's a moment of inaction. It's a moment of sitting with this curveball and taking it in stride. Yeah. And remembering your power. It's not always what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you. I'll be right back. We are back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to go get my little guy from school. I just wanted to pick up where we left off. Just gonna shuffle to tune in. Here we go. Okay, all aboard coming out here. Life of the party. All aboard is this train station running through the mind. There's like a bit of a circus element to it. Life of the party is reversed. So someone made you like the center of their world, and now all of a sudden you're feeling like you aren't. Homebody is reversed. Maybe there was like something that came up where you guys were planning for a future together, or to settle something down together, and all of a sudden it's just been like a curveball. We have pull yourself together is reversed over here as well, and then we've got no strings attached. So it feels like there was someone here who maybe made you feel like you were going to be something, like something was going to come together for you guys, and all of a sudden out of nowhere you're on this path, you're working together, and all of a sudden you've just been left sort of literally hanging, you know, in the back burner. And this really, with that Tower card that came up earlier, we didn't see this kind of position shift happen. It does feel like you were, maybe things were going good, you guys were having like a really good time together, and all of a sudden now there's like this impasse. There's this impasse. You are struggling a little bit right now, or perhaps we're seeing that the person that kind of left you hanging unexpectedly, maybe they're struggling, and it's a mystery is here. So this also suggests that like this entire thing has left you so confused. You just don't even know what's going on. All of a sudden you're in the past position. There's this lack, this communication that's been cut off for you guys. There's maybe there's accept help is here. So perhaps we need some help from loved ones, from people who are willing to lend us a hand. Can you accept their help? It does feel like there's a bit of a block with accepting help. You are going to come out of this stronger, and you are going to find it within yourself to really get it together. But at the moment, you take a breath. This has just thrown you such a curveball that you're just feeling overwhelmed at the moment through this, which is totally normal. I mean, when things feel and look like they're headed in a certain way, and all of a sudden the train's like, hey, we're getting off here, you're like, what? I didn't want to be in the middle of nowhere. I did not ask to be in the middle of nowhere. I took a one-stop a no stopping ticket to go straight to Paris or something, you know, and now all of a sudden you're kind of like on an island, and you're like, hey, I'm not even with the people that I wanted to be with. So what is going on here? So let's see what's going to happen with this situation. Let's see how you're going to handle the situation. Let's see what's going on, how you feel about the situation. Four of Wands, crossed with the Fool. Four of Cups, Four of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. Knight of Swords. Three of Swords. Ace of Cups. Reversed. Two of Wands. The World. Reversed. Queen of Wands. Reversed. High Priestess. Okay, so with the Knight of Discs at the bottom of the deck. So what we're seeing here is that right now you have been left just, there was this path that you were headed on. You were headed on it in harmony with someone else, and all of a sudden you've been left, made a fool. Literally with the Fool card crossing you right now. It's as if you took a risk, you took a chance on something that you knew there was a risk. It does feel like there was a premeditated risk. Like you knew that this thing that you were investing in could go awry, and now it sort of has gone awry, and you're definitely living through the experience of that letdown. The third party in this energy feels like a lot of strong masculine energy. We're getting that. So maybe you yourself are just living in that, the momentum of just like really being in your masculine, or you were surrounded by an overbearing masculine energy that really almost like threw you to the curb through this situation. The Nine of Swords is just this like illustrating this complete sense of like just so much pain. There's just so much pain. And I think that like through your entire story, there was pain. This was like an ongoing thing that you were trying to work through and see if maybe you guys together could make something happen. And it just feels like the vision that you had and what was said and what was sort of like motivating you and the beliefs that you believed in have kind of let you down right now. Like the motivation that you had, it just let you down. You have a lot of strength on your side, and I love this Four of Discs with the Priestess as the kind of like archetype card in here, because we are seeing that even though you're living through a moment of like just utter depletion and despair, there is this sense of like, I will move past this, you know, like I will get through it. The Queen of Wands reversed here is almost like you had a direction and you were very confident in your direction. You knew which way you were going, but all of a sudden that direction just kind of, no matter how much effort you put into the thing, you couldn't get the train back on the tracks. There's a third party that's influenced the situation, or that's kind of brought their energy into the situation that you knew was living in the background, but you tried to hope for would sort of like dissipate. All of like the emotion and the investment that you made in this relationship has just kind of fallen short through this experience. There's definitely like, it was you, I think you were really trying to pull this forward. And I think right now you're living sort of like the outcome of your intuition or your instincts. Like you kind of knew that this was a possibility in this situation, and that this person had a lot of power over you, and they could just turn this entire thing on its head, and as a result they have. And so you're sort of like, your fears around the situation are living their truth right now. There's a lot of fears in having invested in this person. It took a lot of you, a risk from you, and you were willing to put in that risk because this person, at this point you're seeing them as kind of having led you on, and they made you believe that things could look a little more attractive and promising than they actually are at this moment. And you're kind of mad at yourself, I think, through this, in the sense that you probably saw it coming, but now you're kind of like, why did I follow this through? And you know why you followed it through? Because you told yourself this story that it was going to be okay, and as a result of telling yourself, yeah, that story, in this moment right now, you're sort of living this sense of defeat and emotional overwhelm, because with the Ace of Cups is reversed. So this offer that you were hoping to get, this promise, this sign of deep affection, commitment, and just interest, a love interest, the promise of something has fallen short, and that has left you with your dreams kind of crushed and squashed. So I do see that you are you're gonna move past this. Like, you've definitely got the ambition and the stamina within you to make a thing, to just pick up and go from a thing. But that being said, the bloodshed and the internal, just like that sword through the heart, it's very real for you right now. So I think it's going to take a bit of time before you are actually able to regroup and find your direction. This person in your life, it doesn't feel like they're going to have, feels like this is a big ending for you both together. This isn't something that you are easily going to forgive or be able to look past. You know, it's so interesting because I think in the tarot, when we look at the scope of tarot online, there's so many readings that speak to like soul connections and love interests, and how that can kind of go awry. And I think it's because so many of us right now are circling through these times of great change, and we are looking for companionship, and we're looking to pick up the pieces of what in the last few years has kind of become the reality and sort of fallen apart. And we're seeing that in regards to that, there's something within you that for the first time in a long time, you took a chance on something. In that person, in that thing being this goal you were building together, you're living with the burn right now of like, I knew that I shouldn't take the chance. I knew that I should have believed otherwise. And I did it anyway. And as a result of doing it anyway, you have the pieces of this story in front of you. You're left with them. You have some really deep wounds through this experience. This person definitely hurt you. I think this person is walking away just almost like it's kind of shocking how they're able to just turn their backs on this situation. But again, there's a part of you that's not really surprised. And there's a reason that has nothing to do with you, actually, on why they turn their back. Before I pull from the tarot, let's grab from this deck and let's see what this deck has to see on this situation. I want to know how this person is feeling in this situation, and I want to know what their motivation was. We have you are blessed, and we have you're driving yourself crazy right now. What else can we get here? It's almost like the cards are suggesting this was a blessing in disguise. Again, you saw it coming. Rescue is here. Sometimes FOMO, clear your vibes, is here. Sometimes there's something that we think we want so much, but actually we don't want it. You're a natural and you're empowering. So this is changing you and shifting you into a new course of being that is fundamental to your future, but also cemented in this deep sense of losing control, but also kind of that feeling of frustration of like, why? Like, why did I let this happen? Why did I let this happen? Let's see here what we have. High Priestess is here. The Moon is here. There were a lot of fears. You know, it feels like you didn't trust yourself, and that's why you're feeling like you let yourself down. The Nine of Pentacles is here. You're extremely abundant. There's so much that you have to offer. And you've got this opportunity to really, there's always an opportunity around you, and there will be an opportunity around the corner again. This is not something. 10 of Swords is here. So this sentiment of wanting to belong to something that has actually left you feeling so desperate and desolate at the same time. The 10 of Wands is side by side to it. Also reversed, as is the Queen of Wands. So right now you do feel like right now you don't have that sense of fire and perseverance and that sort of zest and zeal of life. And that's totally normal because you've been knocked down right now. You've absolutely been knocked down. But the cycle, it's like the puck stops here, or what's that expression? Like you're really having these reality checks right now with these situations of how it's unfolding, and you're looking at yourself and you're looking at all the ways in which you don't deserve this. And it's not just this like petty ego, like I don't deserve this, I deserve better. It's like, you know it within you that you deserve better, and you know that you shouldn't have stuck around this long for this situation to come to this, because this has just kind of given you sort of like the proof is in the pudding kind of thing. You're like, oh man, like I knew why did I do this? So yeah, we're seeing that luck is it's gonna bring you back on your feet for sure. Let's see how this person who treated you this way, like what is this outcome going to do for them? How are they feeling about what they did to you? They've ghosted you. Be free to know you are loved. They can't accept love. They're unable to help themselves. So it could be addictions. There could be this situation where this person just really needed to look at their vices and look at their kind of where they're gaslighting others when really the spotlight should be on them. They took a chance on something, and it ended just as quickly as it started. And the mystery and sort of the dice on this just really in some level makes no sense, and in other levels it's like you just knew that this was the only outcome that was possible. Someone like that, they were collaborating on something with you. They made promises to you. These were empty promises at this point. This feels completely empty, completely like just void of anything. And they couldn't handle the commitment, so they left. They up and left. Fear of commitment is here. Fear of themselves. Fear of what could be if they allowed themselves to be loved and to love themselves so much the way that you loved them. We see that love is here. We see that you held your end of the bargain, but we also see that they did not. And they're feeling extremely tired right now, and I don't think they can handle it. The Knight of Wands is reversed. The Lovers is here. The Star is reversed. I think they do feel a certain sense of like, they knew you were really special. They knew you had something, you meant something to them as well. They couldn't handle it. And so they opted out. They copped out. This is a person who's extremely in a moment of weakness. It could be that they haven't done the growth work and that they're just weak in general. And they're not going to change. And maybe you were hoping that they were going to change. Maybe you hoped if you showed up for them and just kept pulling that train forward that things would get better. I'm actually feeling quite lightheaded as I'm like sharing this, so it does feel like there's this sense of like utter confusion and just overwhelm, probably for both of you at this moment. The Six of Cups is here, so like just this sense of joy and this feeling of like the past that we were working to build together, and the dreams that we had together shattered in an instant. There could be, it does feel like there's a sense of failure between two otherwise compatible people. This person presented themselves as being extremely willing towards you and attracted towards you, and I think that you kind of bought their story. And maybe they looked better than, like it just feels like there was a lot of empty promises. I think this person's still trying to find themselves. And as they're trying to find themselves, they're not able to give what they say they want. What they're saying they give is their projection of who they want to be in the future. But as soon as they get close to having that and having the abundance of that future self, they just up and leave. So I think there's a sense right now that this person has failed themselves for sure, but they're the ones losing in this moment much more than you're losing in this moment, because they know that you deserve more. It's not like an outright corrupt person. This person is just struggling with their demons, but they got you enmeshed in this, and I think they were trying to buy more time with you, and then the escape just, it got the best of them. The Seven of Pentacles is here. So again, like there's this sense of working towards something, and now it's like, well, what for? Like what did we work so tediously towards something, you know? Like this moment of my ship is going to come in kind of thing has totally left you defeated. The Page of Wands is here. I'm almost getting like a little bit of a thing, like there's like a soul that wanted to come into the picture. Is it like a child or something? And there was just this, yeah, that feels really powerful. Feels like there was maybe something around a pregnancy or an announcement where something looked like it was going to come together around the growth of a family. Joy around that moment, around that opportunity, around that potential. Like a wish is just completely, the story's kind of showing us a little more clarity now on this, the struggle and the thing that kind of saw this person cut and run. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the truth of this. Yeah. I don't even think they had it in them to like talk to you about, looks like they just outright ghosted you and they didn't even communicate why or where or when or how, just left. They left with the Eight of Cups though, so there's a tremendous amount of feeling in why they, in what they're dealing with right now. I don't think they're having an easy time right now, even though they left, so they abandoned. Abandoning something does not mean we're more equipped to deal with it, or that we are dealing with it or not dealing with it, you know? There's just this sense of like, the Five of Cups is here, so we're seeing more of the emotional story here. So there's this desire to be able to be more than they actually could be for you. And just, I don't know, the focus is not on what this Five of Cups in this context feels, in this storyline feels very victim-y. It feels very like self-inflicted. You know, just this sense of what could have been, or woe is me. Huh? Let's see how you're going to be feeling through this. Let's get the cards together here. I just want to see, like, how are you positioning yourself going forward? Yeah, your strength. The Ten of Pentacles. So something that you dreamt of having has just left you. Fears are here. Vices are here. The motivation to go forward after this is not here. Just this sense of like complete and utter. Your mind is going at 1,000 miles an hour. You're feeling extremely defeated. You're looking for answers outside of yourself. That needs to be within yourself is going to be the answers, but you've kind of just cut yourself off from a lot of things, including yourself right now. You don't even have the fight in you right now to kind of face anything. And I think you're in a situation where you feel as stuck as you are, feeling like you have no other choice but to just wait it out. And you feel like you've been had. So we're not in an easy situation right now. Someone played a nasty one on you. And I think it's really important for you to remember through this that this is prompting the next cycle for you. The question is probably going to be something around like, do I let this person back in when they come back? Because this behavior is like, it's a behavior of a pattern. You don't just up and leave and kind of not reinitiate those patterns in your life, in your story. So when this boomerang kind of hits your, you know, your landscape again, is this something that you're going to be willing to face or deal with? Or are you going to have closed the door on this? Let's see what you're going to do. Are you going to close the door, or are you going to find the energy to close the door? Or are you just going to, how are you going to handle this in the future? Time will tell. It does feel like you're not ready to throw in the towel, though. You are open to collaborating and making things. There's a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth, but if this person comes back, if and when, you want to hear their side of the story, and you're willing to see if they have a peace offering that is substantial. It looks like there could be an offering that would be something that would be interesting to you. You're willing to stay open to that. So I hope this resonates, even though this is more of a difficult story. I'm sorry that you're going through this right now. And you know what? This too shall pass. You will get through it. You absolutely will.